Let's welcome our F&O experts for the day. Kunal Shah of Indiabulls Ventures and Brijesh Singh of Stock Axis join us on the show. Good morning to both of you. Thank you so much, Kunal, as well as Brijesh, for joining me. Kunal, I'll start with you. Very quickly, your Nifty, what's your view on the Nifty and what's your Nifty strategy?
See, I think overall, talking about both the indexes, we have seen a great sell-off that has happened into the index. So we are at a crucial junction. Talking about Nifty on the futures front, 11,300 will now act as a very crucial support. Any closing below these levels will see further pressure going down towards the levels of 11,100. But since we have seen last 2 to 3 days consecutive falls into the index, I think a trading bounce is expected somewhere. Overall, the structure still remains very weak, but anyone who wants to make a trading bounce, I think this is the best time to go long into the index for an upside target of 11,450 on the upside. So my call on the index on the Nifty front would be a buy call. One can definitely buy Nifty at the current levels with a stop loss of 11,300 for targets of 11,450 on the upside. Similar view stands for Bank Nifty. We have seen Bank Nifty trading in the oversold regions. With the bounce, we have seen some kind of longs that have been added into the Bank Nifty futures. Yes, because of Yes Bank, Bank Nifty has not moved much compared to what Nifty has moved. But overall, the structure still looks very positive for Bank Nifty in the near term. Just a trading bounce that is expected to go towards the levels of 26,800. So one can definitely buy Bank Nifty futures at the current levels with a stop loss of 26,400 for targets of 26,800. Remind you, the structure still remains very weak. Again, for Nifty and Bank Nifty, this is just a trading bounce which one should play for.
Okay, Brijesh, good morning to you as well. You're also positive on the Nifty.
Good morning, Agam. No doubt, definitely. See, the Nifty on a shorter term time frame, it was been trading on a lower top formation, and if we take a few levels, like Nifty made a high of 11,760, and after that we have seen a correction of 11,390, and after that again it moved up to the level of 11,603. These all values I'm taking from a Nifty spot value. And if we draw Fibonacci extension, the 127% retracement will come somewhere around 11,210 or say 11,220 zone. So we have seen that level, excuse me, we have seen the Nifty low of 11,210 and been achieved, and after that we have seen a gap up opening right now, and even right now it's in the process of a bullish wolf wave. So if we take a view of bullish wolf wave, then we see a Nifty heading towards a level of 11,550 to 11,575. But if we take a very short term time frame, say for a couple of days, then definitely one can take a buy at Nifty at around 11,300 or say 11,310. Your stop loss would be 11,250. Your target would be 11,375. But the value can be extended to the level of 11,440. This all value which I am taking is from a Nifty spot value.
Okay, there you have it. That's your strategies on the indices. Let's talk about some stocks then. So Kunal, then why don't you take us through your stock calls of the day?
See, I think overall, talking about the structure for the index, I have been positive since we expect a trading bounce to happen into the index. My first buy call would be on KOTAK Bank. We have seen the stocks trading into the oversold regions, and we have now seeing some positive structure being developed into the bank. And plus today, we have seen some kind of fresh breakout that has happened into the stock in the near term. So one can definitely look to go long on KOTAK Bank with a stop loss of 1230 for targets of 1280 to 1300 on the upside. Again, for the KOTAK Bank, the stock is in a oversold region, so yes, trading bounce is expected into the stock, and the stock has formed in the near term a bullish pattern which will take the stock higher towards the levels of 1280 to 1300. My next pick would be oil. I think oil marketing companies have been doing very well in the recent past despite the market correction. Oil has given a fresh breakout in terms of volumes as well as in terms of the open interest. So I think oil is likely to move higher towards the levels of 217 to 220. So one can definitely look to buy oil at the current levels with a stop loss of 207 for targets of 270 to 220.
All right, some interesting calls there. Brijesh, what about you?
See, I'll go with the steel counter. General Steel and Power looks good. If someone is looking for a shorter term time frame, then the stock has a potential going all the way to 325 to 350 odd level. If I'm looking for a 4-month or 5-month time frame, because the stock has formed a bullish flag pattern and it has given a breakout. But if we talk about for a swing based trading, say for 2 to 3 trading sessions, so at the level of 240, 241, one can take a buy call. Your stop loss will be 232, your target will be 252. Stock has been trading on the high lows formation on the shorter term time frame, so that's the reason the buy call has been emerged. Your second call will be Muthu Finance. The stock has moved up from a previous swing high, oscillators giving the higher lows higher bottom formation, increase in volume. So this all includes for the buy sides. So somewhere around 471, 472, one can take a buy call. Your stop loss will be 458. Your target will be 495. This is for 2 to 3 trading session.
Okay, let's take in some and speak about some of the stocks that are buzzing in trade. The banking space seems to be doing well. ICICI Bank and Axis Bank, both of them seem to be doing up. They're up almost 3% in today's trade. Kunal, would you venture a bet into some of the private sector banks apart from, we've spoken about Yes Bank, apart from Yes Bank, is there any traction that you would see on these two?
See, I think overall, since expecting a bounce into the Nifty Bank Nifty index in the near term, I think ICICI Bank looks like a good placed bet at the current levels. The stock has been in a recent correction and now has given a fresh breakout with today's volume. So I think overall, ICICI Bank looks very positive at the current levels. One can definitely look to go long into the stock at the current levels for an upside levels of 340 to 345. So I think out of the entire private space, I think Kotak Bank, which is one of the buy calls, as well as ICICI Bank looks attractive at the current levels.
All right, so well, there you have it. ICICI Bank along with the other private sector bank does look attractive for Kunal, but I'm going to quickly go across and start taking queries. The next query is actually an interesting one, and it's from Nikhil Raja. He writes to us on YouTube. Can you suggest short strangle strategies on any of the stocks for the September series? Do remember the September series expires next week, and well, of course, time decay will be which will be an important factor considering we're just a week away from expiry. Brijesh, if I can take this question to you, do you expect any stocks to consolidate, thereby taking advantage of time decay? In which case, would you recommend any short strangles, any of the stocks? Anything that comes to you in mind?
See, if we talk about taking a short strategy has been concerned, one can go out and look at selling a pattern at future at level of 235 or 236. Yeah, your stop loss would be 242 and your target would be somewhere around 228 or below that. The reason the stock has been trading in a range of 232 or 242, and now the stock has come down with increase in volume from a higher level. So that indicates that the pain would be coming up. So one can go for a sell side with somewhere around 236. Stop loss will be 242. Target will be 228.
Okay, there are a couple of queries that have come in on M&M and we'll address them. Vijay is saying that is it a good idea to buy the 980 September call on Mahindra & Mahindra? So even Bikash has the same view. He's saying he has one M&M lot, the same strike price 980 at 19 rupees. So overall view on M&M, does it make sense to buy the 980 call on of M&M? You can Kunal, you can take this one.
See, overall talking about the structure, M&M is still very positive at the current levels. Exactly 980 is something where the immediate resistance for M&M is faced. Once M&M crosses 980 and decisively closes above that, we will see levels of new highs coming into the stock. So I think at the current levels, I would not recommend to buy a 980 call. I think 980 is a stiff resistance. If the stock consolidates for the next couple of days, we are getting close to the expiry. So the time value would be always against us. So I think once a confirmation comes above 980, I think that is the right time to go long into M&M.
All right, so there you have it. That's the view coming in on M&M. And with that, we'll move on to the next one. The next one, of course, is on Yes Bank. So I'm going to take that up, considering we will have a lot of questions on Yes Bank today. We have Rahul Kamdar, and he suggests, or rather asks, a good idea to buy Yes Bank at current market price for a 5% intraday recovery. Let's take a look at Yes Bank right now. You know, it's already recovered from the negative region of 30%, and it is going to be a little bit of a yo-yo considering the stark correction that we've seen on Yes Bank, currently trading at around 255. Brijesh, I'll take this question to you. Do you think Yes Bank could move up by as much as 4 to 5%, and thereby can Rahul Kamdar initiate a long at this point in time for an intraday trade?
No, for intraday is not a worthwhile buying a Yes Bank. But if someone has a view of a shorter term time frame, then definitely one can look out buying Yes Bank. See, Yes Bank had made a previous low of somewhere around 218 or 220, and even if I'm not mistaken, is today's 52-week low is somewhere around 218. After that, we have seen a bounce back. Its previous low was somewhere around 280. So I'm looking a stock trading in this range of say 218 or 220 on a downside, followed by 280 on the higher side. Anyhow, if 218 breaks, then 180 would be the level which we can see. I think, if I'm not mistaken, March 2015 is a high. But for an intraday prospect, definitely no. But for a shorter term time frame, anything somewhere around 230 or 232, if it comes, definitely one can take a buy call. Stop loss would be a 50-week low of 280, and look for the target of 255, 260. Anything above 280 on a closing basis, stock has a potential going all the way to 320, but the time frame would be on a higher side.
Okay, there's a query on Godrej Properties. Now, it's not an F&O stock, but one of our viewer wants a view on Godrej Properties. So, Brijesh, I know it's not an F&O stock, but on the charts, can you see something interesting on Godrej Properties?
See, on the daily chart, the stock has been trading in lower tops and lower bottom formation. The previous swing low of 646 has been broken, and in today's session, the stock has been beaten down and has been trading at 580 with increase in volume. So overall, it suggests that more pain has been there in this stock. So better to avoid it. I'm looking stock going all the way to 520, 525. Whereas on the higher side, immediate basis 625 and 650 would be the resistance. So buying at this juncture, definitely no. If someone wants to play for a sell side, definitely one can go. But the range is on the range is a little bit broader. So if it comes somewhere around 600, 625 would be the stop loss, and sell side can be taken.
Okay, well, we're out of time, so I'm going to take this moment to thank both our experts, Brijesh as well as Kunal, for joining us and taking us through their views as well as solving some of our viewer queries. And with that, it's a wrap in this edition of the F&O Show. But for more news and updates, stay tuned to Bloomberg Quint Live.